Hello everybody, welcome to the room tour of room 202 in the H10 Madison Hotel in Barcelona. It's quite a nice room, has some little foibles we're not desperately keen on, but nothing that really spoils anything. Not overall anyway. So we're looking at the back of the door, which is why you're looking at me. And instead of the usual evacuation details that we'd expect on a cruise ship cabin, you've got a full-length mirror. And you can see my wonderful socks, no doubt. All green and blue things from Rohan. Anyway, that is by the by. So, what have we got in the room? Well, as you come through the door, you've got a wardrobe. But it's not very big. You've got some hanging space there. You've got some short length hanging space just here, but not a lot of shelving space, and that's all the shelving space you've got in the room. The safe is the usual sort of size, so it'll take something like an iPad and certainly all your documents, but nothing any bigger than that. The next room we come to is the bathroom, which is different. I mean, I know we've seen his and hers sinks. I don't think I've ever seen a his and hers shower before. Seems absolutely pointless, and we didn't use it. We did as we always do, and we went one after the other. But it's all commendably clean. You've got shower gel, shampoo and conditioner by Rituals. Never heard of them, but I used them this morning and they're absolutely fine, and my sensitive skin is not giving any signs of playing up. And even my hair, which is normally disturbed by the passing wind from a butterfly, is not too bad. So you've got quite a nice size sink, glasses for what you want, tissues, face cloths, a shaver socket which doesn't take British things, but you've also got two sockets there if you want it, and again you've got hand and body wash, and hand and body lotion, sorry, the yellow one, and some hand wash. Some interesting art above the loo, which is there. The towels are there, two hand towels, one bath towel there, there's one underneath, and the hair dryer, I don't know, right, brighten it up. That's the hair dryer underneath there, and we struggled to find that because it's buried behind the thing. Toilet paper and spare toilet paper, so no problem. We have bathrobes and slippers. We haven't used them. They feel very similar to those that we just had on Queen Victoria in the standard Britannia balcony, but as I said on that video, they aren't a patch on the ones we had in Britannia Club, which were unbelievable. So that's the somewhat amazing bathroom. I think if I were doing a Jamie, you'd probably say you get 4 or 5 people in there. Yeah, you might have some rather soapy fun in that one if you were so inclined. I don't know how well you can see it. You've actually got light top and bottom in the wardrobe. So it's not a bad idea, but it would be dark otherwise. You've got the usual thing, stick your key in there, controls for the aircon, and there's a fan in the roof, which you'll see in a sec, which we aren't using. Some more interesting art. Now you'll notice our cases are on the floor. Basically, there's nowhere to put stuff. If you were coming for a conference or a long weekend, something like that, this room would be absolutely fine because you wouldn't be carrying that many clothes. You'd probably bring everything in one small suitcase or a carry-on bag. But as we've been away from home for 2.5 weeks now, nearly 3, we brought quite a lot of stuff with us, even though we've washed some on Queen Victoria. So we've got stuff that would have been nice to hang and so on. There isn't really room for that, and there's no drawers or shelves, which would have been really useful. That's the big downside of this room. It's the only downside to the room, because otherwise it's lovely. This is your bedside cabinet, which is kind of drum shaped. There is a drawer in the top, like that. My phone case, I'm doing this on my phone while my DJI Pocket 3 charges itself back up again. And in any case, this does rather a better job. So, behind there, you've got a socket. You also have a USB-A socket and switches for the lamp. You've got a light behind, that's one of the main room lights. You've also got another somewhere on here, that one, that turns the one off behind the bed. And you've got a little reading light on both sides of the bed, and that's just turned on by pulling it out. That's quite potent, is that one. And as I said, you've got a pumping great fan in the roof, but we haven't really needed that. It's a really nice telly, 4K high quality telly, and which you are invited to cast your channels to. So you can, if you've got your iPad or your phone, you can use the casting option to send stuff to it, and we've done that. It's very easy, it's very straightforward. You've got free Wi-Fi coupled to that, with or without the VPN, which I would recommend. But yeah, so you've got a nice little desk, which I plan to use to do a little bit of work fairly soon. That dressing table, which isn't what it amounts to, what looks like a drawer isn't, and the cupboard underneath has got the minibar in it. That's chargeable, but with a nice touch, you've got 2 bottles of water, which are courtesy of the hotel. We used one this morning and it's been replaced free of charge. And you've also got a Krups coffee maker. Takes this kind of cartridge, and the only drawback as a Brit is you only get espresso sized cups. Now it's one of those things that I don't normally drink coffee that strong, but even for me, 1 sweetener is enough. I think it's pretty much enough for Ruth as well. It takes sweetener all the time, so the coffee is actually pretty nice. No quibbles there. The bed is lovely. It's got more pillows than we needed, so we got rid of one of those. But I'm not joking. We were in bed at 10:30 last night, and didn't open our eyes until 7:30 this morning. Never felt a thing. That tells you how good the bed was. We've done a fair bit of walking, I'll grant you, but that we were pretty shocked last night when we got in. It's a very pleasant room, as I'm sure you'll agree. Now, the pièce de la résistance, we got a balcony. Now, unfortunately, what you don't get is views of the sunset over the stern of the ship, or a promenade deck. Excuse me, I fell down a little step there. So no, it's not the greatest view in the world, but it's quite nice. You can sit out here. You've got 2 chairs and a nice table, so you could sit and have a glass of something out the minibar if you were so inclined. and say hola to the neighbours. So that's my tour of room 202 at the H10 Madison Hotel. I'll say again that if you were coming for 3 or 4 days and coming to Barcelona for that length of time, I couldn't recommend this place more strongly. If you wanted to come for any longer, unless you can pack extremely lightly, then I think you might struggle, as we're struggling a wee bit. But on the whole, this has proved to be a really nice room.